Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the best 10 brawlers to max out right now as soon as the update drops. So as you can see on the screen, I do have my reimbursement, 340,000 coins. Let me know down in the comment section below how many coins you did get. So obviously the point of this video is going to be which brawlers to max out as soon as possible, because everyone's going to be ranking up those brawlers. So before we jump into it, make sure you're using the creator code. That'd be greatly appreciated. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So quickly, before we get into the video, I have received something in my inbox. So as you can see, looks like Brawl Stars have given me a pin. Imagine if it actually wasn't a World Championship pin and it was actually a troll. So they actually said, well done being a GOAT. Absolutely love that. That's probably Danny saying that. So thank you, Danny, for the donation. And as you can see, this amazing pin. So I think throughout the videos for at least a good year, I'm going to be spamming this pin 24/7. So I'm sorry in advance, but it's going to be spammed everywhere. So yeah, that's going to be that for now. Let's jump into the video now. Okay, so starting off with the 10th best brawler to max out with the brand new update, it has to be Gus. So Gus, if you guys missed it yesterday, I went through all the balance changes, but he received 5 buffs and 1 nerfs. These were absolutely insane. So the biggest one has to be the ability for his super to go through walls. His projectile speed with the super as well got increased. His healing per ghost got increased by a couple hundred. Also his shield got increased as well, an extra 300. All of these buffs in tangent just make him such a broken brawler. He has to be a top 10, easily top 5 brawler within this new meta. So many buffs to him. I just can't see how it's not going to be one of the best brawlers within the game. So yeah, it's just going to be good pretty much everywhere. Already in competitive, you're seeing Gus pretty much everywhere. So that's why I was a little bit confused as to why they actually buffed Gus that many times, because as I said, he was already like a top 10 brawler within the meta, and I could just see the play rates going through the roof. So making sure you're maxing out Gus as quickly as possible, because he's going to be so broken in this meta. Okay, so next up, as the 9th best brawler to max out with the brand new update, it has to be Gene. So as you guys are probably aware already, he's got a brand new mythic gear called Talk to the Hand. So essentially these mythic gears are another star power. That's what I think they'll be basically going forward. They're literally probably like a fine-tuned star power, so in between like a gadget and star power basically, because they're just really strong. I think the Gene one at the moment is a little bit bugged, because it does say in the description that it goes 1 tile further, but it's actually only like 1/3 of a tile. So I actually think this could receive even more of a buff, but I just think this mythic gear is going to be so strong on Gene. You pair this with his speed gear, for example, and you're going to be increasing the range of the pull so much. It's going to be absolutely insane what people do with Gene in competitive right now. But the good thing about Gene as well, you can easily go with like the vision gear as well. It's going to counter so many brawlers with that, and you don't even need the mythic gear really, like, if I'm completely honest, because as I said, like 1/3 of a tile isn't completely broken. But Gene is just so strong in the meta. He's being used pretty much everywhere. If you're a solid player, you can always get value out of Gene as long as you're playing as a team. He counters so many different brawlers within this meta. So yeah, I'll definitely recommend maxing out Gene. Okay, so next up, as the 8th best brawler to max out within the new update, it has to be Tick. So Tick's new mythic gear is so much fun, but it's actually pretty broken. An extra 1000 HP onto his Tick head. Already it was pretty thick, and the new mythic gear is literally called Thick Head, because an extra 1000 HP, it makes it so even the brawlers with really good DPS burst potential, which would normally just take down Tick's head pretty quickly, they're going to actually struggle to take down his Tick head. It's actually going to be insane just to see. It's literally got the HP of like a Spike, for example. Like, that's how insane this Tick head is. So definitely recommend getting this gear. It's really going to help out Tick. Then it's kind of up to you which other gear you put on to Tick. To be honest, a lot of people like the health gear. I like the shield gear because I feel like you get back to max HP pretty quickly anyway, so you're going to always be regenning that shield gear anyway. I know a lot of people don't like the shield gear because it takes such a long time to regen, but trust me, you wouldn't even notice the heal gear if you just get used to using the shield gear, for example. So yeah, definitely recommend maxing Tick. He's going to be pretty toxic in this meta. Okay, so next up at number 7, we have Lola. So Lola has had a huge buff with this update, and it's in the form of the reload gear. This gear is absolutely insane on Lola. Tested it out for a few games, and I think she's going to be so crazy, because she was already like a top 15 brawler within the meta. She was just good literally everywhere, and now specifically on Heist, she's just going to shred everyone. Extra 20% reload speed. if you actually think about it as well, when you use it in tangent with her ego, with her star power, with the damage gear, it's just going to make it so it's nearly impossible for anyone to actually push you, because you're just constantly bursting out that damage. It's just going to be absolutely insane. I'm really terrified to play against her. Like, I'm probably going to ban her a lot in heists, let's be honest. So making sure you're maxing out as soon as possible. She's going to be such a demon in this meta. Okay, so next up, as his 6th best brawler to max out with the new update, it has to be Brock. So Brock, with a 20% reload buff with that new gear, is going to make him even better. Like, he was already pretty underrated. He had such high win rates in competitive, especially within his niche modes like heist and knockout, and I just think it's going to extend to other game modes now. 20% is huge. Imagine that with rocket number 4. My biggest pet peeve about this rocket number 4, it takes such a long time to reload and get up, whilst now with that extra 20%, it literally has one of the slowest reload speeds in the game. So you're probably going to notice this the most out of any of the other brawlers in the game. So yeah, I'll definitely recommend getting the reload gear on Brock. He's going to be a monster in this meta. Next up, as the 5th best brawler to max out with this brand new update, it has to be Griff. So you'll notice that basically all of these brawlers that I'm putting in the top 10 are with the new gears. Like, the new gears are absolutely insane, guys. You need to make use of them as soon as possible. I can definitely see the reload gear getting a nerf, by the way, in future updates. I think it's just a little bit too much. 20% onto Griff. So imagine this with his new build, everyone using business resilience. Already he was able to apply so much pressure with his star power, constantly spamming those shots, and now with Griff, with that extra 20%, you're going to be spamming shots even more. He's already got insane damage. You're going to be able to cycle your super faster. And the good thing about this reload speed gear is that there isn't like a threshold where you need to like activate it. Like, for example, for like the damage gear, like you need to be below 50% HP. This one, you get it all of the time, and that's why it's just so incredibly broken. So make sure you're spending your coins on those epic gears as quickly as possible. Griff is going to be so strong in this meta. So next up, as the 4th best brawler to max out within the brand new meta, we have Otis. So Otis already is a brawler which was probably the highest pick brawler in competitive and the highest banned brawler, going to show how strong he is. He didn't receive any nerfs with the update, which I'm still a little bit puzzled about, because he was just literally playable everywhere, and now he's received the supercharging gear buff, which doesn't seem like a lot. It only actually makes it so he only needs like one less extra shot, which to be honest is a lot worse than the reload speed gear, but still, for a brawler like Otis, which he does quite heavy, well, not heavily depends on his super. His super is pretty OP, right? It makes it so there's little counterplay. Just that one extra shot can mean the world of difference. It's going to allow him to build up his super even quicker, be even more toxic in the meta. As I said, he received no nerfs, so he's only going to get even better within this meta. Okay, so next up, as the 3rd best brawler to max out within this meta, it has to be Rico. Rico, with the brand new reload speed gear, is going to be so incredibly toxic. Already he was really spammy with his shots. That extra 20%, there's basically never going to be a time where you're not shooting with Rico. He's going to be so incredibly strong, and it's actually a little bit of love that Rico needed, because he was slowly dropping down the meta a little bit. He's got a fantastic gadget, he's got really good star powers, and now he's got a broken gear. This gear, as I said, it probably will receive a nerf pretty soon, I'm pretty sure, because it's going to be so annoying to face off against Rico with his gear in lane. I'm going to be loving it as one of the Rico mains, but again, people, especially on maps with a lot of walls, like, how are you supposed to counter that? It's going to be so incredibly OP. You know, I think of maps like Harder at Mine, for example, down the lane. Like, how are you supposed to go past that spam? He's going to be insane. Definitely one of the best brawlers to max out right now. Okay, so coming in at the 2nd best brawler to max out with this brand new update, it has to be Amber. Amber, with its reload speed gear, is absolutely crazy good. Amber already was a pretty underrated brawler by the majority of the community, but within their pro player pool, a lot of people used Amber. She was one of those brawlers which you could pretty much always rely on, just because of her super damage, the ability to block off certain choke points. It was pretty strong with Amber. Now they're literally buffing the one category which I wouldn't have actually really touched with Amber, just because you think about before, when Amber used to be really OP, she used to have a pretty fast reload speed. It just made it so it's really toxic to face off against her, because it's so easy to aim with Amber, right? But now with this reload speed buff, it's going to be so hard to face off against Amber. I just can't see how Amber isn't going to be one of the best brawlers within the game with this buff. She's going to be absolutely insane, right? So if I was you guys, I would make sure to abuse this as quickly as possible, because people are going to start to latch onto it. So yeah, Amber is going to be one of those brawlers that are going to break this meta. Alright guys, so moving on to the best brawler to max out with this brand new update, it has to be Sprout. Sprout's got a huge buff with the last set of basically the update. So he gets a supercharging gear, which changes it. So before he needed 5 hits to get his super, now he only needs 4, which is a massive change. This is the first one. As soon as you log on to the game, get this one straight away. It's going to change completely the way you play Sprout. You still may struggle a little bit in terms of like Brawl, for example, because everyone just plays tanks on ladder. But when you're playing Power League, when you're playing competitive, Sprout is going to be an absolute demon. As a last pick, I see him being banned pretty much all of the time. But if he's not, Sprout, just make sure you abuse him as quickly as possible before people start to notice and ban him out, because he's just so incredibly strong. Like a big super like this, you're able to block off so many choke points and only needing 4 hits. You know, it's just such a broken mechanic. So making sure you're maxing him out as soon as possible. Alright guys, it's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. So if you guys are wondering about my account and how I leveled up my brawlers, then so basically every single brawler that I have right now has 3 gears. So normally that's how you kind of want it. I'm sure most of you people won't be able to afford that just yet, but if you're kind of thinking about which brawlers you got power 11 already, it's always good to have like speed, damage and shield. They're the main 3, right? Because if you're playing like a passive game mode like bounty or knockout, you want to be using the shield, or a non-grassy map, then damage and shield is going to be pretty good. So but literally all of my brawlers have 3 gears, if not like 4, and I've still got that many coins left. So I'm a bit unsure what to do with all these coins. I feel like we're going to implement something that just takes up a lot of coins. I don't know, but I'm probably going to start spending on some gold skins pretty soon. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.